All right, today what I want to do is talk about how to estimate measures of center from a graph. So my two measures of center are going to be my mean, and my median. I think the mean is the easiest to estimate. What you want to do is look at your graph and pretend like it's a tray of food. Wherever you'd have to put your hand in order to balance that tray of food, that's where your mean is about. So about right there is going to be my mean on this graph. So X bar, it's about at 5. For this graph, it's going to be right about here, and that's at 11. And this last graph, it's going to be about right there. About 25. Next thing I want to do is kind of notice the shape of these graphs. These graphs all look a little bit different, but they have something in common. My first graph, it's called Unimodel because it looks like one mountain peak, kind of like Mount Camel's Hump. So if I draw a blanket over this, or a little line, you can see that at the right side and the left side look about the same. This is all unimodal and symmetric. This one, bimodal, but again, it's symmetric. The left side and the right side look about the same. Last one is trimodal, 3 humps, and symmetric. The left side and the right side look about the same. So my shape is symmetric. Whenever you have a symmetric shape to your graph, your mean is about equal to your median. Okay, so I can go back here. My median, again, is going to be about 5. My median for this one is about 11. It's supposed to be 11. And my median for this one is about 25. All right, so let's talk about estimating the measures of center for these graphs. These graphs obviously look a little bit different. So let's talk about the shape of these. The shape of the first one. So I'm going to draw, again, my blanket over the graph, kind of see what it's looking like. When I have a tail pointing to the right, it's called skewed right. My next graph comes up. This is called skewed left. My tail is pointing to the left. And my last one, put a blanket over it. It's multimodal, and that's okay. It's still skewed to the right. All right, so I'm going to find my mean the same way I did before. I'm going to try to find the balancing point. My balancing point is not going to be in the middle of that hump. It would tip over. So I'm going to move it a little bit to the right. And my mean is going to be right about at 5. So my mean is at my median, because my mean follows that skew, it moves with the skew, stays back a little bit. So my median is going to be like at 4.8. The next one over here, my skew goes to the left, so my balancing point is going to be a little bit to the left. So I'm going to say it's at 20.5. And my median gets held back a little bit. It's closer to the center of that hump. Not quite at the center, but closer. So it's going to be at, we're going to call that maybe 21.5. When we're estimating, it doesn't matter that we get it exactly right. We just want to have a good argument to why we decided that. So 21.5. This last one, I have a lot of material over on this right-hand skew. So that means my mean gets pulled over even more. So my mean is going to be all the way over at 4.0. And my median gets held back. It does not follow that skew. And it's going to be at, we're going to say 3.0. The thing to remember is that the mean always follows the skew. It always gets pulled toward that skew. If you remember to find the mean, estimate the mean by looking at the balancing point, you should be good. All right, so the last thing I want to do is show you guys how to find the measures of center from a box and whisker plot. We're going to start with the median because they're the easiest to find on a box and whisker plot because they're marked for us. So for my car, my median is marked right at that center line. So if I draw a line going straight up to my median, my median is going to be about, let's say, 11. My other one's marked for us again, right here. Draw a line straight up. And about 17. Okay. For my car, this is about symmetric. It's maybe slightly skewed to the right, not too much. Knowing that, I'm going to draw a line straight up. I'm going to say my mean is about right there. So maybe at 11.5. And again, we don't have to be perfect. We're estimating. It makes sense. My graph's a little skewed to the right. My mean should be a little bit greater than my median, so we're good to go. Likewise, on this one's a little bit more skewed. So I'm going to skew it a little bit more. I'm going to move it out just a little bit more. Again, it's a balancing act. If I had to balance this line on my hand or my finger, maybe out here a little bit more, right? So 17, 18, 19. I'm going to say my mean is about 19. And that should do it.